Hey, welcome to the Yes Lady with CharlaA, your encouragement solutions for outrageous business. I'm very excited today to bring you a corporate trainer, an author, a speaker, a motivational coach, Virginia Roberson.
Hi, Charla. Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited to be here.
It's time to say yes to your future. Each week, CharlaA interviews business owners that are breaking the mold. Tune in each Thursday to discover how you can too. Here's your host, the Yes Lady herself, CharlaA.
I'm excited to have you, and I really appreciate you taking time to come out and visit with us today because we have an audience of small business owners here at Offbeat Business Media that we choose to give encouragement and solutions. And I know that you have a lot of that. As a corporate trainer, you've got a lot of that. As a motivational speaker, you've got a lot of that. And so I want to know, I just want our guests to know here a little bit about who you are and what has brought you to this place in life right now.
Well, Charla, what has brought me to this place is actually about 3 years ago, I lost my husband to cancer. And I was in such a devastating place where God actually took my pain and He gave me a passion. And that passion was motivating others, changing mindsets, and just having people live in their gifts.
Well, and we've met, I guess, a year and a half ago at
Yes.
Bookbound Workshop with Michelle Prince, who's
Yes.
also been my guest, which is a blast. And you've got a book that you participated in, right, with the Difference Maker group?
I do. I actually
show that, and we'll get
co-wrote
that over
this
there.
book, Dare to be a Difference Maker. I have a chapter in this book, and actually the chapter is on the time that I spent with my husband as he was sick with cancer and the struggles that we went through and how you can actually come out on the other side.
And you had it shared with me that that is how you became a motivational speaker and the reason behind that, right?
That is correct. You know, it was a trying time for me and I really didn't know where to go or what to do. And God just gave me a passion and it's basically taken off from there. It's taken me by storm, actually.
And your gift is empowering. Your empowerment empire is what your website is, right? The Empowerment Empire.
Yes, the Empowerment Empire, that's my parent company, and I do believe in multiple streams of income, so I have different aspects under that one umbrella. And one of those is to actually go into the corporate world to change their mindsets. Basically, if you change one person's mindset, you can change a department, and that can change a company. So basically, the mindset that I change is having you think outside the box. Not to have you think about the quotas that people put on you, but to look in the mirror every morning and say, okay, I am going to do better than I did yesterday. And if you do that, you will automatically meet the quotas and you will keep on that race. You gotta have the competition be between yourself as opposed to other employees.
I really love that because I believe that our society actually, a lot of places now we're minimizing the competitiveness between people and we're collaborating and locking arms and when the tide rises, the ships rise, right? So we're all rising in that environment. And so what it sounds like you are trying to do is changing the mindset of the individual in each and every corporate situation or just any coaching situation. If we can make our baseline be yesterday's best, then we continue stair-stepping up. Is that right?
Right. You continue stair-stepping up. You take the animosity out of the workplace. So there is no competition with your employees. Now, I do know that a little competition is healthy, but sometimes we get sidetracked with that competition, and that causes the animosity between your employees. So to keep that out, keep them concentrating on themselves.
That's awesome. And how do you do that?
I do that in my training now. I have a mastermind at my employer. I have a mastermind for employees, and I have a mastermind group for managers. and I keep those separate. So when the employees come to share in their mastermind group, we talk about how to have them run their own race, how to have them look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm going to do personally better than I did yesterday. And on the front for the managers, have them look at the total picture of what they actually can do to motivate their employees. Perhaps have like a book reading, a book club, something different outside of the box to help them stay motivated.
I really think that's very powerful, because and having the group separated so there's not the intimidation
Yes.
of the boss is looking over my shoulder.
Yes.
And it also seems that I'm sure it has an accountability factor here.
Yes,
Is there,
it does.
so that how when you get in a small group, what is a good size of a group that you're
Good size for us right now, because it's so new. 5 or 6 is a good group. 5 or 6, I think the first meeting, it takes them a little bit to see what it's about and to come out their shell and to really start sharing with the group. And I find that once that happens and those shells break, that's when we have a good mastermind day.
That's great. So you're doing that at your job. You have a job right now that you're working at in the corporate world.
Yes.
And you've gone into that office.
Yes.
And creating an environment.
Yes.
Of excitement, of collaboration and friendship. Maybe are they building more
Yes.
friendships and accountability? And have you noticed that the tide is rising there? Have you noticed? Have your bosses noticed?
Yes.
A difference?
Well, the first way we started it off for the first group, I had them do an activity, and this activity was for 1 week. So we did 2 weeks of activity. First activity was, we noticed that when you come into an office, most people nowadays, our society, they come in the office and they sit at their desk, and that's it. The activity and the homework was to come in your office and say, good morning. Now, you would start this on the first day and you would record what happened as those days pass. Did you see a difference in the office? We came back, and of course it was positive. It was, wait a minute, this could be me. So you're taking responsibility personally for yourself to change the tone in your office. We started the next week was to go down the hall, and we noticed that most people, you go down the hall and they see you coming and they put their heads down. We don't know what causes that. It could be a bad day. It could be something going on at home or in their office. But what would happen if we all just pass each other and say, good morning, how are you? Good afternoon. That person all of a sudden feels like somebody noticed me today. Let me take time out to say something back. We get in such a habit of looking down at our cell phones when we're walking. But if somebody says to you, good morning, how are you? It's going to tell you, wait, maybe I should put that phone down and look back at that person and say good morning. It changes the atmosphere of the entire company when we start doing that.
It's just the trickle effect, the
It's a
ripple
trickle.
effect, absolutely.
That's
And I
right.
think that you're so on point there, where we so often, we've just gotten, and I notice in myself, I used to, say hi to everybody, or, acknowledge
Right.
everybody that comes in your path, even on the street, waving to people, you just kind of, and now we've kind of gotten cocoon,
Right.
where we're looking inward and downward, and I agree that that's a great exercise. And how
Yes.
simple is it to even, anybody can implement that. Any office, just,
Exactly.
where, if it doesn't have to be good morning, it can be, hey, how's it going,
Yes.
and it can be something very simple, but the point is
Yes.
acknowledgement, right?
Right.
Acknowledgement of the other
Correct.
human being, and so many of us just don't have.
Right.
We just don't have somebody that cares,
Exactly.
that we feel like cares. There's probably a lot of people that care, but
Right.
most of us are not exhibiting that.
That is true.
And so the empire you're building
Yes.
is joining that. It's just lifting that up, and I'm really excited to hear. And so you said that was the first week. What was the second week?
The second week, the first week was saying good morning. The second week was actually acknowledging people
walking in
in
the
the
hall, or
hallways.
as you're
exactly, as
passing
you're passing
by.
them by, and get out of the habit. Because for most people, it's really, if you think about it, it's a habit. They're so used to looking down when they walk. It's a habit, but it's a habit that can be broken. And I do it every day. Every day I go walking, and I see how some people are stunned by it. They're like, wait, she's talking to me. So I think, it's changing. I've seen it change in my personal office, in my office area where I work. And I know if it can change in my office, we can change each office, one office at a time. And imagine if we had companies that's how they thought. They really was paying
acknowledging
attention.
everyone as a human being.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you, that is probably as critical way that we're going to change our world.
Yes.
And get through this divisiveness, this environment that is continuing to be contributed to us as in this. I just know that. The harder people are to love, the more they need it. And my message is unconditional love. My message is making a difference wherever you go, and getting out of the judgment of what they're doing. It doesn't matter what they're doing because they're doing it.
Right.
Just love them anyway.
Exactly.
Just love them anyway.
Love them anyway.
And give them permission to receive a greeting, receive a smile, receive that unconditional love.
Exactly.
So I'm going to tell you something. This goes really fast. We're going to have to take a quick break now. So the Yes Lady with CharlaA will be back after these messages.
22 veterans every day take their own lives. They commit suicide. A couple years ago, I talked 4 people off the cliff with guns in their hands, because they're looking for hope, they're looking for trust, they're looking for respect, they're looking for somebody that cares. Blue Dragon International Consultants, we care. Go to bdic.net to find a conference near you.
The American business economy is positioned as it has never been before. Professional videography is a core element for attracting a higher level of engagement with the people group you need for significant impact. Now is your time to shine. My name is Bill Brock, owner of White Rock Films, and I invite you to a powerful opportunity in the marketplace, an opportunity to draw excited people to your events, an opportunity to showcase your ideas on infrastructure, an opportunity to become known as the industry authority and enjoy the associated benefits of a strong influential brand. Video highlights, video teaches, video puts a resistant market at ease, and video stirs the hearts and imaginations of your allies and strategic client base. White Rock Films offers full audio and video production for businesses ready to embrace the future, handling your project with professionalism, experience, and polish unlearned. My name is Bill Brock, and White Rock Films wants your business. See us online at whiterockfilms.com.
Experience the Zeal difference.
It's my favorite beverage.
I never thought nutrition could taste so good.
I know it's why I feel the best I've ever felt.
Wouldn't start my day without this beverage.
Every once in a while, a product comes along that's so innovative, it has the ability to shake up how we feel about nutrition. You're about to be introduced to a one-of-a-kind nutritional powerhouse. It's scientifically formulated and backed by a landmark clinical trial. This wellness product has created a movement that has already generated over $300 million in sales. It continues to change lives, create a thirst in people to be healthier, and is inspiring generations in ways other beverages simply do not. It's called Zeal, and thousands of people worldwide, just like you, appreciate that it takes the guesswork out of nutrition and why it's loved by so many. If you don't experience the Zeal difference in 30 days, we'll refund your money. Join us in this movement and experience the Zeal difference.
The Yes Lady is back here with Virginia Roberson, my friend and dynamic personality that is just out there making a huge impact. And one of the things that I know that you're good at is helping people live their gifts. What does that exactly mean, and what do you do to do that?
What that means to me is that God has given us all gifts. We are born with those gifts. And we would hate to live on earth and leave here with what I call packages unopened, gifts that are unopened. So what I do is by changing your mindset first, you have to get in the mindset of, I have these gifts that are free. Now, can I do with them? What should I do with them? So I go through first changing your mindset and accepting the fact that you do have these gifts. Then I have you identify these gifts. And I normally tell people, if you want to identify your gift, close your eyes and think of it like this. What is the thing that makes you smile when you think about it? Okay. So they normally come up with something. What makes you smile? The next part of that is, what would you do that thing if you didn't get paid for it? For example, I'm a speaker. I would speak if I didn't get paid for it. The next part of that, and the most important part of it, is, does that thing help someone? If it doesn't help someone, that's not your gift. But if you can connect all three of those, you have identified your gift, one of your gifts, because it could be multiple things. But we start there. You identify your gift, and then we figure out, okay, how then is your gift going to make room for the life that you have now? How will it make you money? How will it make room for you? All of our gifts will make room for us.
So give examples of that.
Like I said, my gift is, of course, motivational speaking. So I do this, and I've always done it. If you ask people that I grew up with, especially my brother-in-law, he will tell you, you have the gift of gab. So now I am actually putting that gift of gab to work. I am having other people identify their gifts. I have a client that I'm working with that I do one-on-one coaching. She is in the corporate world, but she is earning a living, but she's not living her gift. And therefore, she's not experiencing the joy that you experience when you live your gift.
Satisfaction,
That
deep down.
satisfaction that I am doing something.
And making a difference.
I'm making a difference, and I'm changing lives when I do that. And that's the joy you will feel when you identify your gift.
So, and you're doing that in this small environment in your groups at work too, or is this just a one-on-one coaching piece?
Just so
Where are
happened, it actually rolled into my mastermind group.
Oh.
But I try to teach it in my motivational speakings when I do a seminar, when I do coaching in a big group. Then that's when I really bring it to the forefront, especially when I am speaking in front of a women's group. Because as women, we try to shy back from our gift and we try to just go along to get along. But I find that once we start living in our gift, your entire world will change. Your work environment changes. Your family dynamic changes when you become who you were meant to be.
A lot of times when we start doing that, have you found that the people that know you and love you the most are not necessarily your biggest supporters of that change?
That is true. I advise people when this happens, they will lose friends. You will have people that say you're not the same anymore, and they're right. And this is how I teach them to deal with that fact. Not to look at it so much as they're envious and they're jealous. What it is, basically, I tell them, you have promoted yourself out of your group. Your group was sitting around having a conversation about all the things that the group was going to do individually, your goals. So what you did was you actually start putting action behind that. So you have a group over here that you promoted yourself out of. It has nothing to do with envy. It does not. A lot of people will look at it that way, but you've promoted yourself out of the group. And that's the object, for us to keep promoting ourselves. If you're an author and you've written one book, you're in a group of authors that have written one book. Now it's time for you to write two.
That's me.
Yes, now it's time for you to write two. So then you will promote yourself out of that one into the authors that's written two. And that is pure joyful that you are noticing that you're continuing to move. Once people around you see that, I guarantee you those people that are out here will catch up.
They'll catch up or they will leave.
They will catch up or they will leave.
Yeah,
exactly. Or you will come to some common ground that you can have this and still have something in common with the people that are still here. But you got to be willing to lose people because people are not in our lives, some of them. Some of them are in our lives for a short time to teach us something. And when they do that, it's time for you to move on.
Seasons. It's just seasons, and you're moving
Correct.
into new seasons. And when you begin to do some soul searching, when you begin
Yes.
to step into personal development,
Yes.
I've noticed even in my own family, some, there's some.
Yes.
They don't ask me very many questions.
Right.
It's like, what are you doing now? Oh my gosh, now what are you doing now?
Yeah, exactly. That
what
is
are you
so
doing
true.
now?
Right. That's the way it comes out. Well, what are you doing now? You're always
So
doing
it's
something.
just like, let's keep it all surface. And
Right,
I'm
exactly.
not a very surface person.
Neither am I. It
and
doesn't work.
So it has its place, but
Yes.
I really want to know who you are. I mean, I
Right.
want to know who you are.
Exactly.
I want to know why you're here on this earth. I want
Right.
to put that love into you. I want to
Yes.
know, are you really living your life?
Right.
Are you a victor right now? Are you
Exactly.
really truly choosing? And you have some resources. And I know I'm going to ask one other little direction that I know you're involved with something called Trouble Spotters, and you may want to just touch on that for 1 minute. What does that really mean?
Okay.
And Trouble Spotters,
Yes.
speak to.
I am a licensed trouble spotting instructor, and I teach people how to spot trouble before trouble spots them. And what that really is I teach common sense, basically. Common sense is when you're going out of a store, not to be looking down at your phone, to be aware of your surroundings, because, we're trying to spot that trouble that's looking for us. You want to be looking ahead to your car before you get to the car. You don't want to wait with your head down and you get to a car and someone's waiting right around the corner for you. So it's basically what I call common sense thinking. And I do that in teaching a seminar that's called Are You Safer Than a Sixth Grader? Because the last time we've probably thought about our personal safety was when we were in sixth grade.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
So, and I know Jeff McKissick, who has helped with that, and he's.
Yes.
So the trouble spotting, you go into corporate and teach big groups or small groups how to just be aware of their surroundings ahead of time. And as a former flight attendant,
Right, exactly.
Situational awareness is a huge
Yes.
piece of our training.
Yes.
And yet we didn't have cell phones all the time when I was doing
Right.
that. Now it's, we're so often we're distracted, so
Yes.
distracted. So thank you for stepping out and trying to teach the world about that aspect as well. So
Yes.
you're finding gifts, you're empowering people, you're doing masterminds, you're doing
books.
trouble spotters, you're writing books, you're on the stage.
Yes.
What else are you doing? Is that cover it all?
I
or-
think for now that covers it all, but I'm looking for the next thing. Whatever God puts in my path, He orders my footsteps. So whatever that is, I'm up for the challenge, and I'm going to open that gift and see where it takes me.
That's awesome. And you have a website that is...
I do have a website, and it's called theempowermentempire.com.
EmpowermentEmpire.com.
Empowerment.
TheEmpowermentEmpire.
Yes,
.com.
theempowermentempire.com.
Okay, and they can find you there. And what else? How else can they
Yes,
find you?
my email address is virginia@theempowermentempire.com. And you can reach me by cell phone also at 817-404-9156.
And you have a favorite quote. I want to just say, once you start living your gift, and you will experience unspeakable joy.
Yes.
Things will turn around in your life for the better.
That
Looks like a great quote you have.
Yes, yes.
And you also have a free offer for the folks, perhaps?
I do have a free offer. Anyone that calls me or emails me and reference this interview, I will have a 1-hour free one-on-one coaching session for you.
That is awesome, and I'm going to take you up on it.
Well, thank you. I'll be
If it
more than
includes me.
excited. I'll be more than happy for you to take me up on it. I truly believe in people, Charla, living their gifts. That's how you're going to live your best life. And I think that's also how we're going to stop the divisiveness, if everybody's living their God-given gift.
taking that competition out of things, and you're
Yes.
competing with your own self.
Exactly.
To better.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. This has been a great time, and I
Thank
enjoyed
you.
learning about all that you are able to offer to our communities and our world and our corporations.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
The Yes Lady with CharlaA will be back next week. Thanks so much for joining us. Hi, I'm the Yes Lady with CharlaA, powered by Zeal Wellness. Zeal is my nutrition beverage of choice. It is 14,000 milligrams of superfood nutrition in a powdered formula that you can just shake it and take it out the door, grab and go, have energy, vitality, reduce your stress, some incredible health benefits. It's incredibly cost effective, and it is going to change your life. I'd love for you to join me. Go to charla.zealforlife.com, charla.zealforlife.com. Join me in being healthy, focused, full of energy, tastes great. Zeal for Life.
That's all for the Yes Lady with CharlaA today. The Yes Lady with CharlaA is produced by the OBBM Network and available on demand at offbeatbusinessmedia.com. The Yes Lady also airs each Thursday at 12 and 8 p.m. on OBBM Radio, available on iTunes and offbeatbusinessmedia.com. Download the Offbeat Business app to get the Yes Lady TV and podcast on demand. To be a guest on the Yes Lady, call 817-808-7703.